There is a hidden law at work in the universe, one that explains why money flows to some people instantly, while others seem to chase it endlessly. The truth is, money is not merely paper or coins, it is energy, and energy is drawn to belief, spoken word, and inner certainty. When a person lives with fear, doubt, or desperation, they unknowingly push money away. Their words are filled with lack, their thoughts echo with worry, and their heart vibrates with resistance. But the one who receives money with ease is not struggling, not chasing, not doubting. Instead, they live in a quiet confidence that supply is already theirs. The instant wealth appears in their experience. It is because they already accepted it inwardly long before it came outwardly. They spoke words of abundance. They expected divine timing. They believed in unseen provision. The hidden secret is this: money flows instantly when you align your thoughts, words, and faith with the truth that you are already provided for. You stop trying to make it happen, and instead know that it must happen. Every dollar carries the vibration of freedom, ease, and joy. Speak to money as a trusted friend, not as a stranger. Expect it, welcome it, and honor it when it comes. And most importantly, never tie your supply to a single source. Know that life has infinite channels to bring you what is yours. The one who knows this secret does not beg, does not wait, does not worry. I live in an abundant universe. Money comes to me easily and instantly. And so it is. Money is energy. This is a truth that many overlook because they have been conditioned to see money only as paper bills, metal coins, or numbers in a bank account. Yet beneath its physical form, money carries the vibration of value, exchange, and flow. It is not stagnant, it is alive. Just as energy moves through all living things, money too is meant to move, circulate, and expand. The person who understands money as energy begins to experience it differently. They no longer cling to it in fear, nor chase it in desperation, but instead treat it as a current that responds to their thoughts, beliefs, and actions. Every thought carries energy. Every emotion vibrates on a frequency. When you think of money with joy, gratitude, and openness, you radiate the kind of energy that money naturally responds to. It flows toward you because your vibration aligns with abundance. On the other hand, when you think of money with fear, resentment, or unworthiness, you send out resistance, and the flow retreats. Money mirrors your energy. If you see it as scarce, it appears scarce. If you see it as abundant, it arrives abundantly. Consider the way people talk about money. Some constantly complain, money is hard to get, or, it slips through my hands. These words carry energy too, and they reinforce a negative relationship with wealth. Such affirmations tell the subconscious mind to repel opportunities and block financial blessings. But there are those who say with confidence, money comes to me easily, or, I always have more than enough. Their words carry the vibration of expectation and belief. This shifts their energy field, and money flows in to match the frequency they are broadcasting. The flow of money behaves like the flow of electricity or the flow of water. It needs an open channel. When fear, guilt, or resentment blocks that channel, the current cannot move freely. But when gratitude, generosity, and trust clear the way, the current rushes in powerfully. Imagine holding a tight fist around a handful of water. You cannot hold it that way without losing it. But if you relax your hand and allow the water to flow, you find yourself able to catch more of it. Money works the same way. The energy of money cannot be forced, but it can be invited. Money is energy, and like energy, it is influenced by intention. When you spend money with fear, saying, I can't afford this, or, this will leave me broke, you charge that money with negative energy, and it multiplies lack. But when you spend money with joy and the affirmation, there is always more where that came from, you charge it with faith, and it returns multiplied. The energy you release returns to you. This is why some people can give freely and still grow wealthier, while others hoard every penny and never feel secure. The energy behind the action matters more than the action itself. Money responds to circulation. Just as the body requires blood to circulate in order to stay alive, money must move to remain alive in your life. If you lock it away in fear, it stagnates. If you use it with trust and intention, it grows. Giving and receiving are two sides of the same energetic coin. When you give with joy, you set in motion the law of return, and wealth comes back to you in expected and unexpected ways. Energy must circulate to remain abundant. Money flows to those who keep it moving, not those who try to freeze it in place. Another dimension of money as energy is that it amplifies the energy of the person who holds it. In the hands of a fearful person, money magnifies fear. In the hands of a generous person, money magnifies generosity. money itself is neutral. It does not carry morality or character. It simply takes on the energy of the one who directs it. This is why two people can have the same amount of money, yet their experiences differ drastically. One may feel constantly anxious, never satisfied, while the other feels grateful, secure, and creative. The difference is not the money, it is the energy behind it. The energy of money is also tied to self-worth. If you believe you are unworthy of wealth, money avoids you. If you see yourself as deserving, capable, and ready, money is drawn to you. Energy follows belief, and money follows energy. Many people struggle not because they lack talent or opportunities, but because they carry hidden beliefs that push wealth away. They may feel guilty about having more than others, or fearful of being judged for success, or doubtful about their ability to manage abundance. These beliefs act as energetic barriers, keeping money at a distance. To shift the flow, one must shift the belief. Gratitude is one of the highest energies that attracts money. When you give thanks for what you already have, you signal to the universe that you are ready to receive more. Gratitude opens the energetic channel wide. Complaining, on the other hand, closes it. A grateful heart is magnetic to wealth because it vibrates in harmony with abundance. Each time you appreciate $1, you invite 10 more. Each time you resent a bill, you invite 10 more bills. Energy multiplies what you focus on. When you view money as energy, you stop limiting its sources. You realize that wealth can come through infinite channels. It does not have to come only from your job, your business, or your investments. Money is energy, and energy is limitless in its ways of reaching you. Opportunities, gifts, ideas, and unexpected blessings can carry the flow of money into your life. The key is to remain open and receptive, never tying your abundance to a single channel. Money is energy, and energy is always moving. The way you think, speak, feel, and act determines the direction of that movement. Treat money as a living current that responds to your vibration. Honor it, respect it, and align yourself with the frequency of abundance. When you do, money flows to you not as a struggle, but as a natural expression of universal law. Fear blocks supply. It is one of the greatest barriers between you and the abundance that is rightfully yours. Fear is a constricting energy, a tightening force that closes the door through which blessings desire to flow. Whenever fear dominates your thoughts, your words, or your imagination, it creates resistance. It does not matter how hard you work, how much effort you give, or how many strategies you try. If fear is the energy beneath it all, the results remain limited. Fear whispers of loss, of lack of, what if things go wrong? And in listening to that voice, you unknowingly push away the very supply that longs to reach you. Every person carries an inner current of energy, and money, opportunities, and blessings follow that current. Fear distorts the current, breaking its smooth and steady flow. Imagine a river that is blocked with stones and debris. The water is there, ready to move, but the blockage prevents it from reaching its destination. Fear is exactly that. It piles up in the channel of your life and restricts the movement of supply. You may still receive a trickle, but never the full stream that belongs to you. Fear is sneaky because it often disguises itself as practicality, responsibility, or even wisdom. Someone may say, I must hold tightly to this little I have because what if no more comes? This thought seems logical, but beneath it is fear. That fear signals to the universe that you do not trust in its endless provision. And because energy matches energy, life mirrors your fear by withholding more. Another person may say, I can't take that chance, I might lose everything. Once again, fear has spoken, and opportunity quietly steps aside. The mind often believes that fear is protecting us, but in truth, it is blocking us. When you fear the loss of money, you cling to it so tightly that it cannot multiply. When you fear failure, you never move forward, and so success cannot meet you halfway. When you fear judgment, you shrink your light, and the world cannot reward the gifts you hide. Fear locks doors that are meant to be open. It builds walls where there should be pathways. Fear is lack of trust. It declares that you are separate from supply, that you are on your own, that the world is hostile and uncertain. But this is an illusion. Life is abundant. Supply is infinite. Fear blinds you to this truth. It makes you forget that provision is already present, waiting for your openness. The moment you replace fear with trust, the current clears, and what was blocked begins to rush in. Many have experienced this in simple ways. A bill paid the moment they released worry. An opportunity arriving after they let go of doubt. A gift appearing when they finally relaxed and trusted. The release of fear unblocks the flow. Fear speaks in images as well as words. When you constantly imagine losing your job, going broke, or running out of resources, you are building energetic blueprints of lack. These pictures in the mind tell your subconscious what to expect, and the subconscious then arranges your life to match. Fearful imagination is powerful because it focuses energy on what you do not want. The more you rehearse those images, the stronger the energy becomes, and energy attracts its likeness. Supply cannot flow where fearful images dominate the inner screen. Many live under the fear of not enough money, not enough time, not enough opportunities. This fear breeds anxiety and competition, causing people to grasp and hoard. But the more you believe in not enough, the more you experience not enough. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Fear is magnetic to the very thing it dreads. When you fear loss, you attract loss. When you fear lack, you attract lack. When you fear rejection, you attract rejection. The energy of fear is a command, and the universe responds faithfully to it. To understand how fear blocks supply, consider how the body reacts under fear. Muscles tighten, breathing becomes shallow, energy freezes. The flow of life force itself is restricted. The same occurs in the unseen realm of your supply. Fear contracts, trust expands. When you live in trust, your energy is open, wide, welcoming. Supply can move freely toward you. When you live in fear, your energy is closed, tense and narrow. Supply finds no opening and moves elsewhere. Fear is often rooted in old experiences. Times when you felt lack, when you faced hardship, when things seemed uncertain. But to carry those fears into the present is to let the past rule your future. Supply is always fresh, always new, always present now. Fear tricks you into believing that the past has the power to limit the present. But it is only your belief in that fear that gives it strength. The moment you choose differently, the moment you declare that you are not bound by past lack, the energy begins to shift. Trust is the opposite of fear. Trust opens the channel. Trust says, even if I do not see the way exists. Trust affirms, I am always supported, always guided, always provided for. In this energy, supply rushes in. It may come through unexpected doors, through channels you never imagined, but it comes. The energy of trust is a magnet, while the energy of fear is a wall. To remove the wall, you must choose trust again and again until it becomes your natural state. Fear blocks supply, but only as long as you give it permission. The moment you refuse to let fear dictate your words, your thoughts, or your expectations, its power begins to dissolve. Fear cannot stand in the presence of faith, gratitude, and confidence in the unseen. Supply has always been waiting for you. It has never left, never diminished. It simply waits for the channel to clear. And when fear is released, when you step into trust, you discover that what seemed delayed was never denied. It was always yours, waiting for you to let it flow. Faith attracts instantly. It is the invisible force that bridges the seen and the unseen, the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not yet visible. Faith does not wait for proof, it creates proof. The moment you believe with unwavering certainty, you set in motion the unseen currents that gather, align, and deliver what you have claimed. Faith operates faster than effort, logic, or struggle because it bypasses the obstacles of doubt and fear. It works at the level of energy, and energy always responds instantly to what is believed as true. When a person has faith, they no longer beg, chase, or plead for supply. They simply declare it, trust it, and walk as if it were already theirs. That state of inner knowing changes everything. It changes the way they speak, the way they act, the way they carry themselves. They radiate confidence, and that confidence is magnetic. Opportunities, resources, and people begin to appear, drawn to the certainty that faith generates. Where fear shuts doors, faith opens them. Where doubt delays results, faith accelerates them. Faith is not passive hope. It is not wishing for something to happen someday. Faith is an inner conviction that it is already happening, that the unseen reality is as real as the chair you sit on, or the breath you breathe. The universe responds to this conviction because it recognizes certainty as a command. Faith speaks the language of creation, and creation obeys. The person who says, I know it is mine, without wavering, receives it swiftly, because nothing stands in the way of that alignment. Faith is instant because it aligns you with the truth that abundance, health, love, and opportunity already exist in infinite supply. Nothing needs to be created, it only needs to be received. Faith removes the resistance that blocks receiving. Imagine sunlight shining constantly, but hidden behind heavy curtains. The light has always been there, but you could not see it until the curtains were drawn. Faith is the act of drawing the curtain. The moment it is pulled aside, the light floods in instantly. Supply flows in the same way. It is already present, but faith allows it to be seen, felt, and experienced. There is a reason why those who live in faith often experience what others call miracles. To them, it is not a miracle at all but a natural law at work. They believe first, and life organizes itself to match that belief. Their faith collapses the time between desire and manifestation because they do not live in hesitation. They do not send mixed signals to the universe. Their energy is focused, clear, and unwavering. Faith is a straight line of energy, while doubt is a tangled knot. A straight line reaches its destination instantly. Faith is a magnetic field around the mind and heart. When you hold faith, you vibrate on the frequency of having, not of wanting. This difference is crucial. To want is to affirm that you do not yet have, and so life continues to mirror the absence. But to believe you already have, to act as if it is done, is to place yourself in alignment with fulfillment. That energy calls the result into form. It attracts the circumstances, connections, and ideas that match the vibration of completion. This is why faith attracts instantly. It bypasses the delay of wanting and steps into the immediacy of having. Faith also changes the way you handle challenges. Instead of fearing obstacles, the faithful person sees them as illusions or stepping stones. They do not collapse under difficulties because they know the outcome is secure. That knowing radiates strength, and life rearranges itself around that strength. Even apparent setbacks become setups for greater breakthroughs. Faith sees beyond appearances and therefore is never shaken by them. The moment you refuse to be moved by what the senses show, you open the way for the unseen to manifest swiftly. It is important to understand that faith does not struggle. It does not force, push, or exhaust itself. True faith is effortless because it rests in certainty. A seed planted in soil does not struggle to grow. It simply contains within itself the blueprint of a tree. Faith is the same. Once planted in the mind, it grows naturally, drawing from the infinite energy around it. The instant you plant the seed of faith with conviction, the process begins, and results are drawn to you like iron to a magnet. Many people delay their blessings because they mix faith with doubt. One moment they affirm abundance, and the next they worry about bills. One moment they declare health, and the next they speak of illness. This back and forth sends conflicting signals, slowing the manifestation. But the one who holds steady, who refuses to look away from the vision, experiences swift results. Faith does not require a long time to work, it only requires consistency. The moment you stop contradicting it, it attracts instantly. Faith also carries a sense of gratitude even before the blessing arrives. Gratitude is faith in action. It says, "I thank you because I know it is already mine." This vibration of gratitude speeds up the attraction, for it demonstrates that you are already in possession at the energetic level. The grateful heart cannot be denied, because it already radiates the energy of fulfillment. Faith joined with gratitude collapses all distance between desire and manifestation. To live in faith is to step into a timeless space where the past cannot limit you, the present cannot scare you, and the future cannot worry you. Everything exists now, and faith claims it now. That is why it attracts instantly. It does not wait on the calendar or the clock. It operates in the eternal present, where all things are already complete. Faith calls them forth, and they appear. Faith attracts instantly because it removes the separation between you and your supply. It affirms unity with the abundance that is already yours. It speaks the word, holds the vision, and lives in the knowing. And in that knowing, the unseen becomes seen, the invisible becomes visible, and the delayed becomes immediate. Faith is the key that unlocks the treasure house instantly, because it was never locked at all. It only waited for you to believe. Inner acceptance precedes outer manifestation. Everything that shows up in life is first born in the unseen realm of thought, belief, and imagination. Nothing appears outwardly unless it is first accepted inwardly. The mind is the womb of creation, and what you carry within eventually takes form in the world around you. Many people struggle because they try to change the outer without changing the inner. They want abundance while still holding on to thoughts of lack. They desire love while secretly feeling unworthy. They seek success while doubting their abilities. The outer cannot contradict the inner for long. The outer is only a reflection of what has been accepted as true within. When you fully accept something inwardly, you stop resisting it. Acceptance creates a vibration of peace and alignment. You no longer question if it will happen. You know it must. This knowing is what allows the manifestation to appear. Inner acceptance is like planting a seed in rich soil. Once the seed is planted and nurtured, it naturally grows into form. The soil does not question whether the seed will sprout, and the seed does not doubt its own blueprint. In the same way, when you accept your desire inwardly, you set in motion an unseen process that must, by law, express itself outwardly. Acceptance begins in the imagination. You must be willing to see yourself already in possession of the good you desire. This is not daydreaming or wishful thinking. It is a deliberate act of creation. When you hold the picture of abundance, health, or success, and you accept it as real within, you impress it upon your subconscious mind. The subconscious does not argue, it simply creates according to the image impressed upon it. If the image is of fear, lack, and failure, it will express those conditions. If the image is of peace, wealth, and victory, it will bring those experiences into form. The outer manifestation is nothing more than the mirror of the inner image. Many people delay their desires because they have not yet accepted them inwardly. They may say the words, "I want prosperity," but inside they feel unworthy or doubtful. They may declare, "I want love," but inwardly they hold on to beliefs of rejection or abandonment. This inner contradiction prevents manifestation. The law is clear: you receive what you accept as true, not what you merely wish for. To accept is to embody, to claim, to feel as though it already belongs to you. When you walk in that inner reality long enough, the outer must conform to it. Acceptance is also about identity. You cannot manifest something that you believe is separate from who you are. If you see wealth as something outside of you, you will always chase it. But if you accept wealth as a natural expression of your being, it will flow to you without struggle. If you see love as something distant, you will always wait for it. But if you accept love as who you already are, it will reflect in your relationships. Manifestation is not about getting something new. It is about accepting what already exists within you and allowing it to show outwardly. Resistance is the opposite of acceptance, and resistance keeps desires at bay. Resistance shows up as worry, impatience, and doubt. It says, "I want this, but I don't believe it's possible." That tension between wanting and doubting creates a block. But when you move into full acceptance, you release the tension. You no longer push or pull. You rest in the certainty that it is done. This resting state is not laziness, it is alignment. It is the perfect condition for manifestation to unfold naturally. Acceptance often requires letting go of old beliefs that no longer serve you. If you grew up hearing that money is scarce, or that love is hard to find, or that success only belongs to a chosen few, those beliefs can remain as barriers until you consciously replace them. Inner acceptance cannot grow in soil filled with weeds of doubt and fear. You must uproot the weeds by declaring new truths. I am worthy of wealth. I am loved and loving. Success is natural to me. The more you affirm these truths and accept them as real, the faster the outer world reshapes to match them. One of the most powerful tools for inner acceptance is feeling. Words alone are not enough if they are spoken mechanically. But when you add genuine feeling to your words, you impress the subconscious deeply. Feeling is the signal that tells the universe you have accepted the reality. If you say, "I am abundant," but you feel anxious, the feeling dominates. But if you say, "I am abundant," and you feel peace, joy, and certainty, the subconscious accepts it, and manifestation follows. Acceptance is less about repeating words and more about embodying the feeling of already having it. Inner acceptance also shortens the time of manifestation. Many wonder why some desires take so long, while others appear quickly. The difference lies in how deeply you have accepted them inwardly. A desire you fully accept shows up with speed because there is no resistance. A desire you partially accept is delayed because the conflicting energy slows the process. Time is not the deciding factor, acceptance is. The moment you truly accept it, the outer begins to shift. To live in acceptance is to live in faith. It is to carry within you the quiet confidence that everything you desire already belongs to you. It is not arrogance. It is alignment with the truth that supply is infinite and always present. This state of being allows you to move through life with ease, knowing that the outer world is only catching up with your inner vision. You stop chasing, striving, and worrying. Instead, you focus on embodying the feeling of already being, already having, already living your desire. And in due time, which is often sooner than expected, the outer manifestation appears, a perfect reflection of the inner acceptance. Words are powerful magnets. Every word spoken carries energy, vibration, and creative force. Words are not empty sounds or casual expressions, they are commands to the unseen, signals to the subconscious, and blueprints for manifestation. The energy behind words is magnetic, drawing into your life experiences, people, and conditions that match the frequency of what you declare. This is why traditions across time and culture have emphasized the power of the spoken word. Words are spells, and to spell is to create. What you constantly affirm becomes the atmosphere you live in, and that atmosphere magnetizes your reality. When you speak words of abundance, health, love, and peace, you set into motion currents of energy that bring those very conditions into your life. When you speak words of lack, struggle, fear, or doubt, you magnetize situations that confirm those words. The universe does not question or judge the words you choose, it simply responds to the vibration they carry. Every word spoken is a seed, and the soil of life is always fertile. If you plant seeds of lack by saying, "I can't afford this," or "I'll never get ahead," the harvest will reflect those statements. If you plant seeds of wealth by declaring, "Money comes to me easily," or "I always have more than enough," the harvest will be abundance. Words not only influence the outer world but also shape the inner world. The subconscious mind accepts repeated words as truth, whether or not they are fact. If you constantly say, "I am unlucky," your subconscious believes it and begins to filter your perception so that you notice misfortune and overlook opportunities. On the other hand, if you say, "Everything always works out for me," the subconscious aligns your focus and actions with favorable outcomes. The words you speak to yourself become the script your subconscious plays out in your life. Words spoken with emotion are even more magnetic. A casual word may pass with little effect, but a word charged with strong feeling imprints itself deeply. This is why anger, fear, and worry can magnetize negative conditions so quickly. People who repeatedly say in frustration, "I never have enough money," find that this becomes their lived reality, not because the words themselves have power, but because the emotional energy behind them reinforces the belief. The same principle works in the positive direction. Words spoken with joy, gratitude, and conviction carry a magnetic pull that accelerates manifestation. Saying, "I am blessed," with genuine gratitude sends out a signal that draws more blessings. The magnetic power of words also influences others. When you speak words of encouragement, love, and respect, you draw people closer, fostering cooperation and goodwill. When you speak words of criticism, negativity, or hostility, you repel harmony and attract conflict. Words carry an energy field that moves beyond your own life and touches everyone who hears them. A kind word spoken at the right time can open doors of opportunity. A careless word can shut them just as quickly. You are always magnetizing with your speech, either pulling toward yourself what you desire or pushing it away. Because words are so magnetic, careless speaking is dangerous. Many people use phrases without thinking, unaware of the forces they set in motion. They say, "That scared me to death," "I'm broke," or "I'll never get out of this mess," not realizing these words act as magnets for fear, lack, and limitation. Every word is an affirmation, whether positive or negative. Conscious speech means choosing words that align with what you desire, not with what you fear. If you want abundance, speak abundance. If you want health, speak health. If you want peace, speak peace. The creative force of words is amplified when spoken repeatedly. Repetition carves grooves in the subconscious mind, shaping beliefs and expectations. This is why affirmations, when practiced consistently, can transform lives. By declaring a truth again and again, "I am prosperous," "I am loved," "I am healthy," you impress the subconscious with a new pattern. Over time, the subconscious accepts it, and the outer world reflects it. The repetition of words acts like the steady pull of a magnet, drawing circumstances into alignment with the declaration. The timing of words also matters. Words spoken in moments of decision or heightened emotion carry extraordinary magnetic power. When you are at a crossroads and declare with conviction, "I choose success," that word becomes a command to the universe. When you face a challenge and say, "I know everything is working out for me," the energy of that word aligns the situation to resolve in your favor. In times of doubt or fear, the discipline of speaking faith-filled words can shift the entire energy field and call forth a positive outcome. Silence is often underestimated, but silence itself is filled with words waiting to be spoken. The inner dialogue running constantly in your mind shapes your outer speech. If your inner words are critical, fearful, and negative, your spoken words will eventually match them, and the magnetism they carry will be destructive. But if your inner words are filled with affirmation, hope, and gratitude, your spoken words will reflect that, and the magnetism will be constructive. Monitoring and transforming the inner dialogue is just as crucial as speaking positive words outwardly. The magnetism of words works in alignment with universal law. Like attracts like. Words spoken from belief and consistency attract matching conditions. Words spoken half-heartedly or contradicted by fear lose their magnetic pull. To speak effectively, you must mean what you say and say what you mean. Integrity between word and belief creates powerful magnetism. If you declare wealth but secretly believe in lack, the words lack energy. But when your words and beliefs align, the magnetism is irresistible. Words are powerful magnets because they carry the energy of intention. Every sentence you speak sends out a request, a command, or a declaration. The universe listens and responds not with judgment, but with accuracy. Life reflects the words you continually release. To transform your world, you must transform your words. Speak deliberately, speak with conviction, and speak in harmony with the reality you desire. By doing so, you create a magnetic field that pulls abundance, joy, and success toward you with unshakable certainty. Supply is limitless. There is no shortage in the universe, no end to the abundance that flows through life. The only limits are the ones the human mind accepts and believes. Look at the natural world: oceans that never empty, stars that cannot be counted, air that renews itself every second, and seeds that multiply into fields. Everywhere you look, creation testifies to the truth of endless supply. Yet many live as if supply were scarce, holding tightly to the little they have, fearing it may run out. This belief in limitation is an illusion, for the source of all supply is infinite and eternal. Supply does not come from a paycheck, a business, or a single person. Those are merely channels. The true source is higher, unseen, and inexhaustible. When one channel closes, another opens. When one door shuts, 10 more appear. To confuse the channel with the source is to live in fear, but to recognize that the source is infinite is to live in peace. You need not depend on one job, one client, one investment, or one relationship to sustain you. Supply is limitless and can reach you in ways beyond your imagination. The belief in scarcity is one of the greatest blocks to abundance. It teaches people to compete, to grasp, to envy, and to hoard. It creates anxiety and separation, as though life were a game of winners and losers. But in truth, there is no competition in infinite supply. No one can take what is yours, and you cannot take what belongs to another. What is yours by divine right cannot be withheld, and what is not yours cannot be forced to stay. When you know supply is limitless, you rest in calm certainty instead of fear. You no longer need to struggle or fight for your portion. You simply align with the flow and receive what belongs to you. Every desire you have can be fulfilled without depriving anyone else. The universe does not divide blessings in pieces, giving one person wealth while withholding it from another. It responds to faith, belief, and acceptance. If 10,000 people claim abundance, abundance does not diminish, it multiplies. The principle of expansion governs supply. The more it is drawn upon with faith, the more it increases. Just as ideas multiply when shared and love grows when expressed, so too does supply expand as it circulates. Limit exists only in thought, never in truth. To see supply as limitless is to shift your entire relationship with money and resources. Instead of saying, "I can't afford this," or "there isn't enough," you begin to affirm, "There is always more where that came from." Such a declaration opens the channel wide for provision to flow. The law of circulation ensures that whatever you release in faith returns to you multiplied. If you give grudgingly, believing in loss, you experience loss. But if you give joyfully, trusting in limitless supply, you experience increase. The universe mirrors the consciousness with which you act. Nature demonstrates the law of limitless supply with every season. A single tree produces countless leaves, blossoms, and fruits. Each fruit contains seeds, and each seed contains the potential for an orchard. The cycle never ends. To believe in lack is to deny the very pattern of life. You are part of that pattern. Just as nature is abundant, you are meant to live in abundance. Supply flows as naturally to you as air flows into your lungs. The only question is whether you will resist it with fear or welcome it with faith. When people focus on limitation, they unconsciously block their supply. They see only one path, one solution, one opportunity. But the truth is, life has infinite channels. If one door does not open, it is because another is meant for you. If one plan falls away, it is because a greater one waits. Supply is never cut off, it simply changes form. To accept this truth is to free yourself from worry when circumstances shift. Instead of despairing, you declare, "If not this way, then a better way." That declaration keeps the channel open and allows supply to reach you through unexpected means. Gratitude is a key that unlocks awareness of limitless supply. When you give thanks for what you already have, you magnify it. Gratitude multiplies because it focuses on abundance rather than lack. A grateful heart is never poor, for it sees the richness already present and attracts more of it. Those who complain of not enough only reinforce limitation. But those who give thanks for even the smallest blessing expand their consciousness to receive greater blessings. Gratitude aligns you with the truth of unlimited provision. Limitless supply also means you never need to fear the success of others. If someone else prospers, it does not reduce your portion. If another rises higher, it does not push you down. Their increase can be seen as proof of the universal law working, and that same law is available to you. Envy dissolves when you understand that supply is not divided, but infinite. You can rejoice in the blessings of others, knowing that your own blessings are already on their way. To live in the awareness of limitless supply is to release the consciousness of survival and step into the consciousness of abundance. You no longer measure your possibilities by the balance in your bank account or the state of the economy. You measure them by the truth that the source of supply is boundless and cannot fail. This shift in awareness transforms how you think, speak, and act. You move from fear to faith, from clutching to releasing, from scarcity to expansion. Supply is limitless, and when you accept this truth deeply, life begins to show you evidence of it everywhere. Opportunities appear where none seem possible, ideas flow with perfect timing, unexpected channels open, and resources arrive precisely when needed. The outer world reflects the inner knowing. As soon as you stop believing in limits, you stop experiencing them. Supply was never withheld. It was only waiting for you to recognize that it has no end. And so, the hidden secret is not hidden at all. It has always been within you. Money flows instantly to those who dare to believe, to those who align their thoughts, words, and feelings with abundance, to those who accept within what they wish to see without. Fear blocks the current, but faith opens the floodgates. Doubt delays, but inner acceptance hastens. Words become magnets, and the supply that flows through life itself proves to be without end. You need not struggle, you need not chase, you need not beg. You are already standing in the midst of infinite supply. The moment you believe it, the moment you declare it, the moment you accept it as true, the flow begins. Speak it, feel it, live it, and watch as money moves toward you with ease, as if it were always waiting for your invitation. The secret is this: abundance responds instantly to certainty. And when you live from that certainty, wealth does not come as a surprise. It comes as a natural law, as faithfully as the rising of the sun. From this moment forward, let every word, every thought, every feeling align with the truth that you are already abundant. And then, you will see for yourself why money flows instantly to those who know.